Business treasure.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. Now be there now.
What's your daughter for me?
Mhm. Hmm? Shut up. You can come through. Already you're about to start. Eh?
Yeah.
So the mic that's used to just this one.
Oh, so what?
What do you mean? What do you?
Is that the mic?
Even here, so this one.
Okay.
Oh, this one can minimize because I've joined the teams from here to there. And
Oh,
yeah, realize team rooms, it's a new system. Even though if they want to present as well,
they
they
can
just join the
join.
link
Okay.
or they can come through here.
Oh,
Maybe check with them if they can. Yeah,
okay.
there's
No, we'll
online
sort it
people.
out during the break because the people who will present. Yeah. Sort it out during the break.
It's not for me. Plug the charger here. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. Can the online people hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, and we can also hear you. Awesome. Okay, good morning, everyone. Well, I'm not showing. I don't know. You can't see my face. How do I show my face? Oh. Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to NEDICC's first general meeting. I do know it is later in the year, but I think better late than never. We are here, and I am very excited, that we have eventually managed to get everyone together for this specific meeting. So my name is Nobubele Shozi, and I am a data stewardship manager at DERISA, which is the Data Intensive Research Initiative of South Africa. And I am also, I would say, maybe the acting president of NEDICC, since our previous president has taken a bit of a break. He has gone on retirement. But yeah, I think we're all just here, to hear about NEDICC, and also, explore more about joining it and, just sharing knowledge as well around NEDICC. So I think before we get started, it will be maybe good for us to just introduce ourselves. I think there are some old faces in the room, but there are also some new faces as well. Not old in that sense. Old as in we know each other. Not age-wise, not age-wise. We don't discriminate. So yeah, I think I've already introduced myself. So I think we can start in the room and then we will go to the online people. Then for the online people as well, maybe you could also, when you're introducing yourself, just turn on your camera so that people can see you. So in your introduction, tell us your name, your organization that you come from, what do you do, and then also maybe a fun fact, about you that you would like everyone in the room to know. Or in the previous meeting that we were in, you could also share a song that you listen to in the morning on the way here. So I will start on my left. Oh, do we need to turn on the mic? Okay. Okay, there are mics in front of us, so I think we can just use those.
decades ago, I worked for CSR's knowledge management communication service and communication. And one interesting fact about me is that I can also speak Arabic.
Ah. Veronica, did you share interesting facts about you? Or a fun fact? Or what you listened to this morning? You drive in silence. Okay.
My name is Paul Morton. I'm from the University of Victoria. I'm involved in Creator and currently also heading up the Creator Summer School that we hosted with other collaborators at the University of Victoria, our online school. The fun fact is all the additional work going on actually very hands-on. I like to stay away from electronic. So a bit of a oxymoron contribution.
And you can wave.
My name is Tembi Sompalasi. I work for NEDICC. I am the operations manager for the team. I've previously been part of NEDICC for a brief period, but I've liked to participate in these discussions today. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Sandisa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Indrani Naidu, all the way from the University of Zululand. We have a current team of members. I represent my director, Mary Monte. She used to be in Colombo and she was a member of the NEDICC. She'd like to reinstate her. Introduce University of Zululand today. Fun facts about me, I always get lost.
Okay.
So good morning, everybody.
Morning, everyone.
I am Louise Payton and I am the data agreement at the CSR Knowledge Management and Information Services. A fun fact about me, I love traveling and I'm on my way to Franklin, Georgia. And also another fact, I've done 10 return.
I also didn't know that.
Hi everyone, my name is Andy Bodine. I am from the HSRC, the Human Rights Research Council. I'm also on the steering committee for NEDICC. And a fun fact about me, I absolutely love motorcycle. That's all we got.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kelly. I'm also from NEDICC. I work as a digital curator. I've been part of NEDICC also for a very long time. My former supervisor who's retired in Chiabuta. And the fun fact about me is that I play golf and I'm currently sitting on a 4 handicap.
Yes, I know.
It's 0, so
Oh, okay. Got it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter and I work with Eurasia. I'm a data science intern. And fun fact about me, I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist, so I'm very good with a pencil and a paintbrush.
Morning, my name is Kanta Bashoko. I'm the data science and applications manager at NEDICC. So at NEDICC, I'm responsible for a team that drives the development of these applications, looks up to the data infrastructure that we provide our communities. And my first time joining the session, and I look forward to the engagements. Fun fact, 3 days ago was my birthday, celebrated with colleagues.
I also work with Human Percent Council. I've been a member of NEDICC since Lucia was around. One freedom. Okay, sorry. I'm also a data curator, although I might refer to myself as a data librarian. One data company. Very hard to say. Of that, I didn't think of anything. What did I do? Interior design. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, you can say it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sam Mokoka. I'm also from the HSRC in the library. I'm the first time to run this meeting, and I'm looking forward to it. The fun fact about me is I like the long distance traveling, and I do them.
You have a partner that who likes workshops.
Good morning, everybody. I don't know if you can see me. No, that's fine. Diaries. I'm from the NEDICC Library. Research data management is one of the things that to my array. That is currently I've got a song stuck in my head, which I can't remember the title of. And I'm not going to sing it for you. Some of the lines are like saying the world like it's a better place for you and for me. I'll stop there.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chando Rondo, also from the HSRC. I'm also a research data curator. And this is my first time here, when I just started in this new position in April. My fun fact is I'm a level 2 international rugby coach. Yeah. So on my level.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
It's in the sketch that I am the manager responsible for knowledge management and information services here at CSI. So the natural services so my fun fact, I'm a mother of two boys, 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, and I've got two Belgian newborns. And the husband. So that it's taken away everything that I call a fun bit.
Thank you, Spetile. Then on to online. We can start with Darlene. And if you can turn on your camera, please, if you are able to.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I'm just scared I'm going to mess up my connection here. So I'd rather
Okay, no problem.
just keep it off. I'm Darlene Petersen. I'm from Stellenbosch University. It's also my first time here. I'm the manager for research information and strategy in the research office.
Thank you, Darlene. And then Tandogazi.
Morning, colleagues. I am Tandogazi Magdeba, a data curator at UCT Libraries. The fun fact about me is I can speak a bit of German.
Nice. Thank you, Tando. Then Mteto.
Greetings, colleagues. My name is Andrew Memela from the Vaal University of Technology. I am the Research Data Management Librarian. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mteto. Then we have Krista.
Yes, hi, I'm Krista Marie. I'm the manager for the information specialist team. Thank you.
Fun fact, Krista.
None come to mind at the moment.
No problem. Ina.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to be able to attend this first hour of your meeting. I'm a planning manager at the Academy of Science of South Africa, and open science is part of my portfolio. And maybe a fun fact, I can see from my travel.
Oh, you cut there, Ina.
Okay. A fun fact is I enjoy horse riding, and this afternoon I can't wait to go horse riding. Thank you.
Enjoy. Then we have a DS Janine. Oh, Janine. See the full name there.
Hello.
Oh, Dana. Okay.
Dana
Hello.
Hello. I'm Dana Jelen, and I'm a assistant digital archivist at the NEDICC Legacy of South Africa, and it's based at Stellenbosch University. A fun fact about me is I enjoy swimming at the gym. Yeah, that's all.
Nice. Up next, we have Nonjabulo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nonjabulo Ngobo. I'm an acting principal librarian at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in Core Services Department. I'm a new member in this group, and I don't have a fun factor. I was listening to gospel music today in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Nonjabulo. Then can we have Dave?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dave Ramorulani from the CSR in Professional Repositories. Yeah, I don't have any fun fact, but I'm happy to see my colleague from UP, Johan van Wyk, here. So, yeah, and looking forward to having a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Kululego.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm a principal librarian. I advocate for open data. My fun fact, I never find a remote. Whenever I want to watch TV, I never find it.
Thank you, Kululego. Then Azwindini.
Morning, everyone. My name is Zundin Tagwana. I'm a intern at the CSR library. I don't have a fun fact. Thank you.
Okay, Ria.
Who's Ria? Karina? Or Ria? Oh, Ria.
There's Ria. Yes, there's also Ria.
Hi, everybody. It's great to see everybody. And quickly, I first just want to say hi to Ina Smith. The project I'm working on is the Antarctic Legacy of South Africa. And she started it a few years back in Stellenbosch. I'm the principal investigator, the project manager, and the digital archivist, and Dana Jelen and we are working closely together. My favorite song is We Are the Champions of Queen. I see there's some of you that's too young that will probably recognize it, but go and listen to it. It's like a motto in my life. A fun and interesting fact is in my job, and you will learn more about Antarctic Legacy as I'm giving a presentation, but I've been very privileged and I've been to Antarctica.
Oh, nice. And then can we have Karina?
Okay, this is me. I'm going to try the camera. You're going to see half of me probably, but let's see. If I do this, is it working?
Yes, we see you.
Okay, I don't see myself, but I can wave. And then I'm going to put the screen back. I'm the information, and I'm switching off the camera. I'm the information scientist at CSIR. I'm responsible for defense and security and advanced agriculture and food. And I do patent searching, but I also like to know what's going on with everything so that I can actually help our researchers. And then the fun fact is I'm now on the Stellenbosch campus of CSIR, and I'm close to the sea, and I've seen the whales this past weekend. So that was quite exciting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Then Sibongile.
Good morning. I don't know if you can see me.
Yes.
I'm Sibongile Sono. I'm the archivist in the CSIR. And my fun fact, I love listening to Radio 2000 when I'm driving to office, even when I'm working. And also, I jive when I find a report, when I get the request for a report, and I find it in the archives.
Thank you, Sibongile. Then Julia.
Morning, colleagues. My name is Julia Mlekwa. I'm the cataloger at the CSR Information Services. Yeah, that's what I normally do on my daily work. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Sonia.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sonia Duplessis. I'm an indexer at the CSIR repositories. I work closely with Dave Ramarulani. Fun fact, I'm a botanist at heart, and I love doing the park runs on a Saturday.
Oh, nice. Maybe we've met. Krishna. Oh, Krishni. Sorry, Krishni.
Good morning, everybody. Can you see my camera?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm Krishni, and I'm the information specialist for smart places, smart mobility, and the biorefinery as well. And yeah, I'm based in Durban. And for fun, what I like to do is I like dancing, I like outdoor activities, I like hiking, I love the nature. Yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Thank you, Krishna. Cannot see full names. Okay, then Vinod. Vinod. Okay.
Apologies. Good morning. My name is Wynand van der Walt. I'm Senior Manager for Innovation Systems and Collections at Rhodes University. My colleague Samuel Simangu, who was supposed to be here this morning, unfortunately couldn't make it. He's actually a real data expert at Rhodes. Fun fact is that I am incredibly serious. The people who spend time with me at NEDICC knows this. I never joke or anything like that. And this morning I listened to the most beautiful music, and that's the sound of my one child and my grandchild laughing. Nothing can beat that.
Oh, beautiful. Then can we have Hilda?
Morning, colleagues. My name is Hilda. I hope you can hear me all right.
Yes.
I'm with Stellenbosch University. I'm the Manager Research Information Systems, and I'm also a member of the Research Data Management Advisory Group. My fun fact, I have a dog called Inoshishi, which means wild boar in Japanese, because he looked just like a little wild boar when we found him. Nice to meet all of you.
Beautiful. And Lindy, where?
Okay, let me switch on my camera. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lindy Wekumete from the Mangosuthu University of Technology. I'm the head of technical services within the library. Fun facts, I'm a cyclist. I participated in Mashova, Ride Joburg, Tour Durban, and many races in Cape Town as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lindy. Who have we not had? Solomon. Solomon or Sitembile? You are muted, Sitembile.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sitambila Ngobese from KZN, the acting IR librarian. I really don't have the fun fact. Thank you.
No problem. Then I think it is Solomon and Itumeleng. Solomon or Itumeleng?
Morning,
Yes.
Itumeleng here. Hi, my name is Itumeleng Utite, and I'm the CSR Information Specialist supporting the Next Generation and Enterprise and Institutions cluster. Also the mining cluster, which I also support NEDICC. The fun fact about me is nothing really except that I can juggle 3 balls in my hands. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Last chance for Solomon.
Morning, everyone.
Okay.
I've been battling to open my camera.
Oh, no
It's quite a
problem.
challenge. Okay, I'm Solomon. I'm Solomon Rapasha from the CSIR, currently the interlibrary loan technician. And fun fact about me, there's nothing really. Just looking forward to the session. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Rosina left the room. Oh, okay. We have some newcomers as well in the room. So if you can introduce yourself and just turn on the microphone. Oh, okay. Thank you. Then Rosina. You can turn on the. That's good to see. You can turn on the microphone in front of you. Yeah. Thank you. So I think that's everyone. I hope I haven't missed anyone online. If I have, please raise your hand. Okay. No, I think we're all good. So I hope everyone did get the program. I did send it to everyone who was on the list. So the next session is going to be by Dr. Johan van Wyk, who will be taking us through. Where is Johan? He's our.
Here I am.
Oh, I don't see on the list.
Can you see? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we don't see you.
That's strange because I can see myself on camera.
I see you, Johan.
Yeah, I can also see you.
So how do we see your hand? Yes, he's online.
So is he presenting now?
Yeah.
We can just share from his side and it should display it.
Okay, in the room we're not able to see your hand. That's why I even missed you on my list.
Oh.
Which link? Did he join the same link?
Yeah, he joined the same link. But I think you can just introduce yourself, Johan, and then share the screen. Then we can just check if we can see that.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to see some of you that I know, that we work together, and colleagues that I've seen over the years. It's great to be with you. As Nobele said, I'm on retirement, so I think that is the best fun factor I can bring up with. Staying in a small little town called Still Bay. It's about an hour's drive south of Mossel Bay, and it's really wonderful to stay here. The flowers are coming out now, so it's a beautiful time of the year down here. I must say I'm not missing the smoke and the smog of Pretoria, but I'm missing the people. So that's definitely something. But yes, I think let me just see if I can share my screen.
While we're waiting, can somebody please mute Johan? I don't want to hear about his lovely life in Stilbaai. He's making me very jealous.
Oh my goodness. Let me just see. Let's get my PowerPoint up. PowerPoint. Content only. Okay. Just get my screen. Just see why it's not showing. Can you, yeah, just one moment. There we go. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
No, all right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let me just get that ready. For those that don't know me, I used to be the chair of NEDICC, and I used to work at the University of Pretoria. I was the assistant director for scholarly communications at the library services there. And then after I retired for a year or so, I worked also part-time as lecturer at the Department of Information Science at the university. And now I'm in retirement, enjoying it. And yes, I will not go into that further. But what I would like to speak about this morning is about NEDICC's, the past of NEDICC, what its current status is, and the future of it. Let me go to the first slide there. If I can just move this along. In the past, the aims have been to promote the development and use of research data and information curation standards and practices to ensure the long-term preservation and accessibility of digital research outputs in support of e-research. And what NEDICC functioned as was like, it was like a forum for practitioners, like a community of practice for practitioners and managers involved in digital object management practices. And we focus primarily on research data, but also other digital artifacts of research. And it was a forum where we could exchange experience and opinions and ideas between one another. It was a place where we could communicate and cooperate through meetings, seminars, workshops, and conferences, and collaborative projects. And we looked at issues of interest, concern amongst each others. We promoted awareness of best practice. We showcased and worked. We showcased our work and initiatives, and we also exposed the community to new developments and trends. And we also provided opportunities where members of NEDICC could engage with a wider audience. For example, people from CoData and RDA, and even the DCC, the Digital Curation Center. We help people to develop their knowledge and skills in this area. And also we help with to develop shared tools that we could use and that would be valuable for each other. The founding members of NEDICC was Asaf, the CSIR, the HSRC, the NRF, and the University of Pretoria. And the membership has always been open to individuals from higher education institutions and research councils. And we had a few people even from outside those areas that also participated in the past. This is just a few examples of NEDICC activities that we had over the years. I'm not going to go into details of that. But what did we do or achieve over the years? We arranged 4 conferences. I don't know if all of you can remember. Some of you probably attended this, but the newer people wouldn't know about these conferences. We had the African Conference for Digital Scholarship and Curation over the years. There were four of them that we arranged. We conducted workshops and presentations at the eResearch Africa conferences in Cape Town. We hosted some of the Digital Curation Center workshops over the years. We hosted the CoData Data Citation Workshop in 2015. And we also conducted presentations in the DERISA track of the CHPC conference in 2015. And we also participated in presenting workshops and training at the annual CoData RDA Data Science School that was held at the University of Pretoria. Then we had smaller workshops over the years where we looked at topics like digital object identifiers, the African Open Science Framework, Atom and Archivematica, RDM platforms for dissemination, research data management policies and procedures, practices and workflows, citizen science even, carpentries, we even had carpentry workshops, metadata and linked data we addressed, roles and responsibilities at institutions with regards to research data management. We looked at the life of research data and services that to support research data management. And researcher engagement, we looked at data profiling, how do you interview your researchers, data literacy. We looked at data discovery and metadata, data information literacy, I already mentioned that. Digital scholarship centers, we looked even at identifiers. We had a small workshop on data visualization, but I think that's an area we can really look at further to build out on that area. We even had a workshop on ethics and machine actionable data management plans. That was someone from the DCC, the Digital Curation Center, that did that with us. The trusted repositories. So you can see there's a lot of topics that we handled over the years. And I think some of those were even wider than what NEDICC's purview was. That was even outside the scope of NEDICC. But what we did then is we, at end of 2023, beginning of January 2024, we did a survey that we sent out to members of NEDICC to just hear what I see NEDICC's value to be and what the value of NEDICC would be, the relevancy, the future, and everything around NEDICC. So it was interesting to see what people came up with. The first question we asked is, should NEDICC continue in its current form? And we had 19 responses. It's not a lot, but overwhelmingly people said they want NEDICC to continue still in its current form. People were quite happy with it. There were about was 5 people that said no, there should be a bit of a change. People said the workshops were very beneficial to them. It helped people to keep up to date with new trends. It provides an overall view of the scholarly challenges and opportunities related to data management and curation. And it helps to identify champions in areas for collaboration, assistance and guidance. And it provided growth opportunities for institutions that do not have all the resources at their disposal. And also provided people insight into what other libraries are doing with regards to research data management. People like the idea of sharing information between practitioners. They enjoyed learning from others and building networks of people in the field. So the networking part was very valuable to them. The continuing professional development aspect of NEDICC also helped people to get the necessary skills and knowledge that they had. It also kept members abreast of what's happening in other institutions. Again, the engaging platform and the learning together issue of NEDICC was quite valuable to everybody. Everybody said that, or most said that it's a one-stop shop for information relating to data. So then there was a question that we asked is, what issues should NEDICC focus on? And it was interesting, in this first slide, people said, yes, we must still focus on data curation and research data management and open access, metadata for data sets, data repositories, repository software, data archiving, and carpentries. But another topic that came up was data stewardship. People said we should look at the issue of data stewardship as well. Then other areas that also came up was people said that we should have a national digital preservation system or a national data repository. We should have a look at that as well. So what I did is with these slides, I actually, the ones that are in red are the ones that came up much higher. The ones that are blue are a bit lower. So it doesn't mean that it's not important, but it means that more people touched on these. People said that we should have products of data curation, focus on that as well. So it's the issue of data publishing, in other words. Data mining is an interesting thing that came up, and data analytics, data modeling, and data presentation and visualization was another one that came up, and research visibility and impact. People felt that was quite important as well. Yeah, some said data science, but there were more that said AI. We must look at AI and research data. So data governance is another one, data preservation and preservation strategies. Also advocacy strategies for uptake by researchers. Some people said we must look at human-centered design and advocacy with regards to research data. Someone said citizen science as well, and then research data management and sustainable development goals, how that will touch on the sustainable development goals as well. Some said scholarly communication. Some also said we must look at digitization, which is a bit out of the scope of what NEDICC does, but yes, there were some people that said we must look at digitization. And then also the fourth industrial revolution, research data management in the fourth industrial revolution. Big data is another topic that came up. And some also said we must maybe also look at the issue of business data research, not just research data. So that's more for organizations that are in the business field in the data that they generate and how to manage that. And then digital humanities is another one that came up, and data librarianship, which we've been doing anyhow in the past as well, looking at that. So you can see it's a lot of topics that came up, and it was valuable to have this survey and to see what people would like us to focus on. And then we asked the question, what form should NEDICC take? About 42%, that's 8 people, said we should be a professional body, but more said we must stay a community of practice. Some said we should be a registered non-governmental organization, and some also said that we should look at the issue of incorporating NEDICC into another organization. And there were also people that said we should be a training entity that presents short courses that can have CPD points and things like that. So that was interesting as well. So what we then asked is what type of services or activities could be facilitated that would be helpful for people's areas of work. People said that they enjoy the hands-on training. More than just presentations. So that's a need. We must also improve the visibility of the research data management services. That was something that came out. And demonstrate new learning. Also investigating and proposing a national digital preservation system, for example, clocks. and focus on training on data mining, presentation of data, visualization, data analytics, data modeling, and ensure that the software for repositories can offer these functionalities. In other words, it serves no purpose if the data is deposited into a repository, but one cannot visualize or analyze the data for better results. So that's something that came out as well. People said we should maybe look at the Dharma workshops. We must also the benchmarking thing with institutes that share their progress and implementation is something we can that is of value to them. Some said again we must look at digitization services, not just the scanning, but digitization for that. Data that can be uploaded onto repositories and so on. Looked at relevant workshops, presentation sessions, advocacy, human-centered design came up again. Some also said it would be valuable to have curation of audio and video recorded research data. So that's something that we haven't really looked at the audio and video of audio and video data, and how we can curate that. Looked at have discussions around all of these topics to hear how others are doing things, review processes, policy, advocacy options, etc. So it's a lot of things that came out. Then another issue that came out is we've been approached by the RDA and CoData as well to look at the issue of organizing a research data stewardship school in collaboration with them and the RISA and SADILAR, and overwhelmingly people were very favorable towards that. And then people said, we also asked if it would be valuable if they would get can obtain CPT points by attending those schools, and the majority also said that they would favor that. Then we also just asked, because if we should have such a school, we will need presenters at such a school, and we said, okay, who would be willing? Will about 66%, sorry, I can't see there so well, it's a bit small, said yes, they would be available. So it's 12 people that of the 19 said they will be available to teach some of these courses or modules. And then about 11 of them said no, they would like just be an attendee. The rest didn't respond on that one. Then we said, okay, what form should NEDICC then take in the future? The first thing that came out was should be a professional body. And the reasons people gave is that it would advance the data professional's career if there are specific courses that such a professional body can present. It would also be valuable to have a professional body like LIHASA, specifically for data professionals. And it would be great to have an affiliation to that. And it would also give stability to its activities. We could maybe look at things like the RDA, and some even said that we should actually be a bit more wider and look at the Southern African region, like SADC countries, and it would be valuable if we want to be recognized at the national level like other professional bodies. So that was the one form that NEDICC can take. It can also take the form of a professional body incorporated into another organization, where we could where NEDICC can operate still as a community of practice that adds a lot of value, but it lacks the formality of other professional bodies. So that will be valuable if we could act as a as part of a professional body, but still have the freedom to operate as a community of practice within that. Now we've also approached LIASA in the past. We can look at other organizations like the SARIMA or DERISA, but that's something that we will need to investigate. Then some said, no, we must just stay a community of practice. Because then we can have practitioners from all levels and fields. If we are just a sub body or committee within an organization like LIASA, it's only focused on the on librarians, and it would actually narrow the field. Whereas if we are still a community of practice, we can incorporate other people that work in different fields and institutions. We could also, a community of practice will give more freedom for experimentation, and it will also keep NEDICC a bit more specialized, and we don't want that speciality to be lost. The purpose is to share information and help each other in the field. So, and that was the value of it in the past. We can assist other universities that are just starting off with their research data management strategies or other organizations. And it provides more reach and opportunities for collaboration if we are a community of practice. Then we could also just be a training entity that presents short courses. There's a huge need for training in research data stewardship. We could have the admission to short courses or data schools should not be too expensive. It must not be unreasonable, and the entry level for skills should not be too high. We could have provide training opportunities that are not really readily available at universities. We could also explore the feasibility of registering NEDICC as an entity that provides CBT points. So that's another option. So what I would like to do now is I'm just going to throw it open to the audience and just hear from you. Nobeli, I don't know if somebody can take notes that side. To hear from you what you would see the way for NEDICC going forward. Ideas from your side. What would work for you? What would not work for you? It would be great to hear from you as well as an audience.
Okay, thank you, Johan. I think we do have Handley taking notes for us. Yes. So I think you have posed an important question, and I think that is why we are here today and trying to re-establish NEDICC, just to find out, in what form we should continue. I do see a hand up from Ina. You can go ahead, Ina.
Thank you so much, colleagues, and thank you, Johan, for sharing those very insightful findings from the survey. I was wondering whether you have any conclusive remarks on the way forward with regards to that survey responses. If not, would you be willing to share the raw data? Maybe I can work with that. Secondly, I don't want to make it more complicated, but I'm wondering whether a NEDICC should not consider expanding to open science, which is a more a bigger an umbrella term for all the things, the needs people expressed through the survey. But it's just an option. And thirdly, there's also Google Classroom, which we can maybe consider for online training instead of regular workshops. And in the fourth instance, I agree with not. Initially, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe work with LIASA, become an interest group, but I can see it might be challenging to move forward. And it would be great if we can stay autonomous, or whatever I can pronounce it correctly. And then in the third instance, maybe for CPDs, should that be a requirement? And we want that connection with a professional body ASAP is through SACNAS also issues CPD. So that can be a way to cover that professional body status. We don't need to become a professional body as such. It's a lot of work. And we've gone through that. So for ASAP, we've decided not to become a professional body. We would rather work through SACNAS and have our events accredited through SACNAS. I don't know if any of the other bodies represented here, like ERISA, also allocate CPDs, but I know for a fact we at ASAP allocate CPDs through being a member of SACNAS. So that can be one way to address the need for CPDs when presenting events or online courses through Google Classroom or whatever. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ina. I think I can just respond on Teresa's side. No, we also do not offer any CPD points. So if we do have a training, we just give a attendance certificate. But I think this can definitely be an area that we also look at, because I think that's very valuable for people when they get those points and they're able to share those certificates in their CVs as well. I think do you want to respond, Johan?
Yes,
Before we take the hand?
can I just ask, you said SACNAF. Is it SACNAP? I couldn't hear well.
Johan, it is SACNAP, South African Council for Natural Sciences. So I'm typing it there in the chat box.
Yes, okay.
So it doesn't matter what kind of courses we accredit through ASAP. It can be data science courses, it doesn't matter. But I can foresee it being a challenge for NEDICC not being affiliated with LIHASA. So LIHASA won't issue CPD points if they do not acknowledge NEDICC.
Okay.
So working with ASAP could be a straighter way for you with less red tape. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can just also respond on the open science. We, as we already took part in the data science schools that were presented by, at the University of Pretoria and even across the country. Some of our members participated in that. But that was for data science itself, and then we had there was one leg of it that was data management and data curation, or you could say data stewardship. But what we found is those courses were mostly geared, or the goal of it was to really help the researchers themselves. With their data and data management needs, data science needs. And then that's why we were looking at maybe have a data stewardship school that will focus more on, we could also include researchers there if we want to, but it was more with the data stewards themselves to give training to them. But I hear what you're saying, open science is much broader. But we were looking at the data stewards itself, because that was mostly connected with NEDICC's past, and it's broader than just data curation and data management. But yeah, it all depends on the terminology that we use. We don't need to get too stuck with the terminology, but I hear what you're saying, and but our focus is to help the people that are the data stewards itself with their data, and not so much the researchers. We are the people that help the researchers with their data. And yeah, that's just my opinion from my side.
Okay, I get it. Thanks, Johan.
Okay.
Thanks, Johan. Then Ria.
Ina, hi Johan, hope you are doing good. Ina addressed a few of the things that I'm not concerned about, but I want to just make sort of open. And The one thing is that's very important is I'm working on this little niche archive. I've got this little niche specified thing, and I think there's much more. So I'm not actually directly connected to a library or information science. I'm actually sitting at the Department of Botany and Zoology. So it doesn't link to data management as such. But one thing that I've realized, and I came to realize it last night again, is that you need some credibility because I've got information science, and we need that credibility. If we link it like a professional, so I can say to everybody, oh, I'm part of LIAISA, I'm a member of LIAISA, so that's where my professional body lies. So it just gives you a lot more credibility of what you stand on. When you speak up, I'm working within international organizations, and I'm also South African representative at the data management. I'm the only one on that whole group that's actually been trained as an information specialist or data, whatever. It's all people coming out of the natural sciences, and they're now working in that. And I just wish there would be a place, and I would think, I'm not sure if it's this professional body or if it would be a commons or whatever, but I think if it can be linked to ICSU, it gives us that credibility. And another point getting that is that if a person needs to apply for a job, or then you can say, but you need to be part of this.
Yes.
A very practical option is that now I want to attend a NEDICC thing. NEDICC is not registered on the budget with my probably with my organization, LIAISA is, so I can get membership easily. So if we can move to something that's more structured, it would be great. Saying all this, I'm also at retirement age, so probably this is not that important, but Dana, that's currently also in this meeting, will take it forward. And there need to be a specification for that. Linking onto that, if we can do these schools, because working within the Antarctic environment with all the researchers in South Africa at different institutions, at Rhodes University, wherever, and like Wynand, I don't know you, but so there is people that then can say to these guys, but go on a data management course, although we will do it for you, but that you get a better idea. And if we are linked to that, so luckily Stellenbosch universities, I believe all the other institutions, give all these short courses for researchers, but that it can be also specifically in a niche environment that people know what you need, because they say, oh, here's my data, here's my photos, and that we can help them, but go on to a course. And give also that credibility. You've done a course through NEDICC, this organization, this body. So I think it's more practicalities that I'm thinking about, but also credibility. And I think everybody that's sitting in this meeting, it's like, oh, you're a librarian, you worked in a library only for 2 months, but in any case, so people don't see us in information specialists, and I think it's important to get that across. So even if we are part of LIAISA and then through LIAISA linked to ICSU, I think it is very important, because looking at the DSTI, always very important. It's like SANAP is also the program that I'm situated in with the National Antarctic Program, is also linked to ICSU, and it makes much more funds available for your institution, for your program, that you previously wouldn't have, because ICSU allows that, and currently it's one of, I think, ICSU imperatives to make information available. They're really looking at it, especially with code data, so that we can link on there. So I think it's more practicalities that I'm thinking about, and obviously the credibility of everyone sitting in this meeting probably. So I'm not sure if I'm on the right track, but there you go.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's definitely something that we must look at for the future, and that's something that we've been grappling with. And I love the ideas that's coming out. But I think let's hear from the rest. Maybe there's some others that want to respond to that.
Okay, in the audience, I'm not sure if there's maybe any comments, maybe on, okay, yes, Bettina.
We cannot hear.
Oh, let's try again.
Suggestion or my contribution is to say, idea, and I think the idea of formalizing everything structured is a good idea. for credibility's sake. So that definitely is a good idea. But also to keep the COP model is also very important. As much as you want to have a model that will formalize the training that is provided for credibility's sake, and to take that and use it in industry or use it wherever and say I've been trained by NEDICC and it is, credible training. So that is one thing, and I agree to that. But I also think keeping this COP model is equally important. I often hear, people when we meet in conferences or meetings such as this, and we often say a lot that we know today as professionals, in addition to the theory that we got from our universities or through our qualifications. But most that we know today is through dialogue and conversations. So you don't want to also use the COP model of doing things, the model of informally coming together and having conversations, having dialogue, because that is enriching in terms of building the knowledge and experience that we have by having these informal conversations. So for me, really, it would be to propose both, if we can have something structured, more formal, but to keep the COP more active, because I think there's value in dialogue. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I think what we need to do first is to establish what we want to be. We want to be in professional body or part of the professional body. But I think there's been ideas around that for the previous speakers. And also, number two, we also need to evaluate our skill set as to where are we needed most. Are we needed in the academic institutions or research institutions? And also explore into business. Are we also needed, And I think once we establish our position in the market, then we'll be able to make a decision as to what we want to be, should we form part of the professional group. And also on the point that you just made of training and getting credits, that NASA is also doing that. And once you get a training for archives, NASA, you will see the certificate that is quite recognized and credible in the records management field. So I think maybe if we can also, be in communication, NASA has to find out how they, get that to that level where their certificate is recognized and it's quite credits. Yeah, I don't know whether it's entry level 4 or 5. I'm not sure, but it is a credit. So certificate. So I think if we can only explore those avenues, then would be clearest where we go.
Thank you so much for that. And I think those are good ideas. Thank you. Fatima? No comment. Okay. Can you please pass the mic? Yes, Chris.
I think we don't recognize it. Instead of showing this opinions to consequence, pick up which body points to be recognized by. I think in terms of the CPG points, I don't think it's such a big issue.
Yes.
I think the big issue is to decide the kind of organization
we want to be.
Are we a professional? We want to be a professional body. We want to be an accredited training body. So that seems to be another underlying option. in terms of coming on everyone. I don't have answers to those questions.
Neither do I. Thank you for that, Fatima. Then we have Teto online.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Chairperson. In terms of the data curatorship or research data management, I'm new on it, but what I've noticed as a person from the School of Librarianship, I've been a faculty librarian, and then I was brought into this post from being a librarian after hours, and I've noticed that on this practice, there is the people that have met mostly are librarians. So in looking at that, is that these people they do have a strong background of education, and I think that we as we get into this, mostly we are from the background of a librarianship, and some are from other background, of course. But I think that as a network of practice, or as an association, for now it's going to do better for us, instead of saying that if you want to go for data management, maybe you should have a certain other course or a certain other qualification, because with our employers and the way things are, sometimes you are just pushed into doing this project or doing that position uh, uh, without even sometimes further notice. So from a background of a librarianship, I loved this network because since I started in this position, I was like looking for such network. Where would I get this network, maybe to understand better? So to have this network, or maybe making it an association, and then maybe our organization or institutions that we're from, they pay, or us, we pay a certain amount. But if institutions, maybe if they join too, they may pay a better amount. So I think that if maybe the network is not working, maybe we should be an association. If maybe we join an association like Liasa, what is hard is that you have now to abide by their rules. So instead of joining, you can encourage them to have a data group, a data curation group, but remain as that association or as that network, where is to look at maybe how to keep it well funded, so that the machine stays lubricated to do workshop, or maybe in a certain year to do a certain cause. But let's not make it that cause that we will say now it will become a requirement. It's just an empowerment, because we are in a moving train, in a data environment. You can see that it's vibrant. Things are changing. At the moment, I'm using a certain institutional repository, the other person is using a certain, but in future, we are hoping that we are going to be using one repository that will be common to us. So in terms of being a statutory or something that is registered in a certain Department of Education or wherever, at the moment, I don't think it's gonna work. But being an association or a network that is registered, or even I like the situation of being close to DERISA, because they are the data steward of the country, custodians in the country. I like that part of being close to Teresa, but in a way, so I wish that maybe we can get a way of being well funded so that we can do a better workshop, or if we need a conference, or maybe if we need to do a certain course of something of that nature. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mteto. We also have, I think there's some discussions going on in the chat with Louise and Ina. Ina is suggesting the creation of 3 working groups under the NEDICC umbrella, one focusing on open research data and curation, and open publications and metadata, and open code and reproducibility. And then also highlighting how these link to UNESCO's pillars as well. Then Louise was just highlighting that we don't always work with open data, and there's some links as well that have been shared to UNESCO. I think the one I did want to jump to is from Ina, where she's asking, will open infrastructure also be covered by NEDICC? And there's a link there as well that is connecting more or giving us more information there.
This is really valuable, Nobubele. I think, will the recording also record the chat, or is it just the sound?
Yes, no, the recording should get the chat as well, but I will just also copy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can just keep note of these as well. Okay, sorry. Ina, you just wanted to say something?
Yes, John. Louise Patterson reminded me that we should not, we're not just talking about open all the time, and I agree. No. As open as possible, as close as necessary, aligned with the 3 principles. So we can remove that open in front of each working group. These are just suggestions. We might agree on these. Just wanted to highlight. Thanks, Johan.
Thanks so much. Okay.
Thank you. Were you still adding, Johan?
I can just say, you'll see there's another slide now on the screen. I think it's very important going forward that we look at a new steering committee, taking NEDICC forward and to, investigate these issues and come up with ideas. We can even have a working group working on that. And I think I like the idea of NEDICC and DERISA working much closer. DERISA is more the top-down organization from the government side, where NEDICC is more the bottom-up organization from the community side. And it's very important that we work very closely together as organizations. And I think it's important also that we also identify experts in these different topics of data stewardship and open science and whatever areas we would like to touch on, and invite them to come and present at NEDICC and then plan some workshops, set up some workshops, and then also follow up on this possibility of having a data, research data stewardship school for South Africa that we could have together with the RDA and CoData and SADILAR. Those are the organizations that's been involved in this discussion so far. I think we could also look at RDA's model. RDA's got a model where they have interest groups and working groups working in that organization. It's a very good organization also to benchmark against and see if we don't want to have a similar type of model for NEDICC, have maybe the formal part, to register as a formal organization to, under the guardianship of DERISA, maybe that could be an option. I don't know. We must maybe have talks with DERISA about that, and then have the working groups of interest groups or communities of practice of NEDICC, that's more informal and open, to have that flexibility. Yeah, that's just my few points on that. For the steering committee, I can just mention we have, I don't know, the screen is a bit small here on my slide. I don't know, can you see it well? We have a chair. We have a chair that provides the leadership and strategic management and chairs meetings and handle all the governance issues. Is responsible for fundraising, gives annual reports, and we have a chair-elect that's a stand-in for the chair. We have a secretary that manages all the records for the organization, and the minutes and agendas, and maintain the calendar and handles correspondence for NEDICC. We have a treasurer, and it's typically a member from the CSIR because our funds are administered by the CSIR. At the moment, we have Louise Patterton. She's the one there that does that. And then we have an activity coordinator that typically helps with the arrangements of events and meetings and workshops. And we have a public relations officer. In the past, we even had 2 activity coordinators and 2 public relations officers. The public relations officer would look at the marketing and the website and communications of NEDICC. So that's something that we need a new committee that can take this forward. I'm on retirement. I cannot take this forward in the next season, but I think this is a wonderful opportunity, and I would like to just invite you as an audience to really send through some names that you would like to nominate to be on this committee, and then we could maybe appoint a new committee that can really work on this and take it further. I'm quite willing to be there as a co-opted member to just help and support, because I know the background of a lot of these things, but I cannot work full-time on this anymore. It's not possible. I'm not in the field, working full-time in the field anymore. So yes, that's just my suggestions. And yeah, the next slide is just a slide of that I've just put together of, if we look just at data stewardship, the things that NEDICC typically would look at is policies and standards, to capacity and expertise, advocacy and outreach, the coordination and strategy of data stewardship, and infrastructure and services. Those are the type of things, if you look broadly at the strategic framework of what data stewardship is about, this is typically what NEDICC would support. Yes, we could broaden that to open science or science, to data science or whatever, if you would like to, but this is how I see it from my side. But you're quite willing for open ideas and new ideas. I like the ideas that came in through the chat. But yes, I don't know. Any other questions before? I think my session is nearly got 5 minutes left. Maybe there's some other questions.
We do have Hilda, who has a hand up online.
Okay.
Thank you, colleagues. Maybe the one thing that we find is quite useful is, I don't know if NEDICC already has a terms of reference, but we find that it's a nice deliverable to, especially if it's authored collaboratively by all of the participants, just to get on the same page. And sometimes people come up with ideas after a session, and then all of us can craft this document that talks about the scope of NEDICC and who the participants will be. So I find that a terms of reference is a nice deliverable also when you engage with other entities, to on a like one pager show them what you're all about.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that I just wanted to mention as an organizing principle, because I see people mention that some skills pertinent to libraries are relevant here, some skills pertinent to technology, and then as some of our colleagues mentioned, researchers are also really good at research data management, and in some cases the skills we have are not subject matter specific enough almost to be able to guide them. So I was originally a librarian and I worked in the library for more than a decade. Now I've been in the central IT division for more than a decade. And it's interesting to see how the view of the library community differs from the view of the IT community. But what we do find is a valuable organizing principle is to look at data at rest, data in transit, and data in use. And how the different communities play a role in each of those phases. So usually IT when it comes to data in transit, and technology-wise data at rest, and then the researchers very much during the data in use phase and the visualization and the analysis. So that's just one other organizing principle that might be useful for this group to think about. Thank you, colleagues.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Hilda. Is there anything on the chat? I think Ria is just adding on to that the terms of reference would be important, especially for new members, as it would outline acronyms and maybe the policies and history of NEDICC. So I do agree there.
Yeah.
And an updated website for NEDICC, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that yet. But that's a definite, yeah.
Henley is agreeing and nodding her head. Yeah, so yeah, we all agree on that. And then we have Nkululeko.
Hi, colleagues. Thank you, Johan, with your presentation. I like the code data RDA school. I think it's good, but I would like it if we can separate it because we're coming from different backgrounds. You know, when you work with librarian, maybe it can be tailored for librarian. When you work with your data scientist who have a background in data scientist, it will be tailored for them, or data analyst. Because if it's covering everything, you'll find out that librarian will be left behind because they may not have advanced understanding of data science. That's what I noticed when I attended the school. But it's great for personal development, I must say, and I learn a lot. That's one point I want to make. I want to align myself with Ina in terms of having, and yourself, obviously, in terms of having special interest groups or special working groups. They'll tend to, they usually work fine because we have experts who work on those particular groups, and then they'll provide services under NEDICC that we may need. If we're looking at special groups, we tend to have a more focused specialist working in that particular group and providing us with relevant information at that time. So working groups and special interest groups tend to work well. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Thanks so much.
To maybe respond in terms of the computer schools, just to add some comments there. Thank you for that feedback on the school. Very useful feedback. It's something that we've done myself. So we are also looking at trying to make this maybe more social science ready and also quantitative. I think quantitative disciplines are well represented, but we are also looking at increasing our qualitative side. And so that hopefully help librarians, maybe people that may be less technical and focus more on qualitative data. That is something we are doing about that. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that, Paul. I think we are, enjoying the conversations and we don't want to cut them. So maybe we can take one or two more. If they are still, you are itching. You have a comment burning inside, you can see. Let's please use the mic for the online people.
We cannot hear anything.
Yeah, they can't hear us.
I just wanted to find out from you if initially when you guys started the NEDICC, was the idea based on the data collection method that is based in Europe? So that probably you provide similar content and everything that relates to the African continent or not?
Did you?
Sorry, Nobabila, I couldn't hear.
Maybe should we try another mic? I don't know what's happening with that.
What was the question?
Maybe let's try again.
No, yeah. Initially, when you guys started the NEDICC committee, was it the idea based on was it similar to what Europe has, which is the data creation network, or it was totally completely different, or you wanted something that would be similar to them, but that's specifically focusing on the African continent?
So the question is, when NEDICC was started, was it to be similar to the European data curation network, or maybe something that is more focused for Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the purpose when NEDICC started?
Well, the purpose was more for to just provide a platform, where we could share ideas in South Africa. It was more a South African model. We would like to just have a community of practice where we could really help each other, because there was nothing in place. There was nothing in the library field at that stage, to assist librarians with helping researchers with their research data management or data curation practices. And you will see some of our first courses was about helping rookie data managers, so it was Louise Patterton would know about that one, where we really try to help people that have to start up a research data management or data curation position at the institution, and get that up and running. And we were very much thrown into the deep end. And I think the idea was to learn from one another, help each other. And yes, then we also got people in from international organizations like the RDA, like people from the Digital Curation Center in the UK, that had very good things that they learned already along the way, and we got them to come and present here and give us ideas, which we then could take and adapt in our situations. So I think the whole idea was to, as a sharing platform and as a network, to really help each other get that off the ground for South Africa, because there was not anything in place yet. It was a new field. I think now it's much more established, but there's still some institutions that are lacking and that are not on board yet, or are starting up research data management at the institutions, and those people find NEDICC very valuable. But I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, it does. We're getting a thumbs up. Yeah, I think for me as well, when I joined DERISA 2015-ish, I really appreciated, NEDICC, and I think it just touches on what Petile said as well. It was a community or group that I really learned a lot from. I think back then there was still Marty and Lucia, and those were really gems when it comes to research data management. So I think, for me, that was a really good foundation and starting point, just to get to understand what is this research data management, what is data curation, and the community really helped me learn a lot. And yeah, with all the workshops as well that we used to attend, or that NEDICC used to host, those were really valuable as well. So yeah, for me as well, I think I really appreciate, this community of practice, and being able to meet people, like-minded people, and interacting, learning, and building networks as well, for me is very valuable. So Ina's asking, are all institutions represented here? Not all. Vits, I think Vits, Nina was our contact, so I'm not sure who is now the new Nina at Vits. UJ as well. Yeah, I don't know as well who are the contacts there. But I think us being here, we are seeing the gaps, and hopefully, yeah, we can try and reach out to those institutions as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping we are able to reach a wider network. But we are recording, I think, everyone's information. We do have everyone's email. So yeah, we'll be able to track as well which institutions were here, which were not, and then we can try to follow up. So it is 10:38. I think the in-person attendees have some nice platters waiting for us. So I think we can take a break for 30 minutes. So we should reconvene at 11:10.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. And then for the in-person attendees, I think it will be good for us to take a picture outside, a group photo, and then, yeah, we can continue with the nibbles.
Great.
Thank you, everyone. And online, we will see you back at 11:10.
11:10. Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take pictures of the food.
Yeah. I'll take pictures of the sea or something.
Oh, okay. For the online people, we have a suggestion of an online picture. So if you can turn on your cameras,
okay,
and we try that out.
just stop sharing.
Okay. I'm wondering if everyone will show on the same page. There. Okay, Taito, Ria, Sonia, Solomon, Nonjabulo, Azwindini, Krista. But they are disappearing. Okay, let me try. Someone hasn't done their hair. I'll try on this screen first. I hope it saves. On page 2. Okay, Sbongile. Oh, there's Mosa. Krishni, I don't know if Krishni is still here. And Dave. Okay, is there anyone I have missed? Let's see. Let me just take one more. Lovely smile, Ria. Okay, I think that is good.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. See you at 10 past.
Right.
Hey.
Bye. Yeah.
Yes, I know very well. So I'm seeing us. Yeah. And we go, good. That's no. That picture, I have a better. So. Yes. Yes. A long time ago, but I also was I standing there or can I sit there? You can sit there if you want. Oh, but you also have to check if I could have.
Yeah. It's fine. She can sit there.
Oh.
She can sit.
Oh, okay.
We have to check first if the guys.
Yes.
But
Okay.
this Maimar is really powerful. Usually sees some people.
You should also switch on that one.
Only this one. But it can
Oh.
cause some feedback.
Oh, okay.
Unless maybe I extend this one somewhere in the middle, but another one I can extend.
Okay, let's just try. Are the online people back?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Yes.
All right, we're also just settling in, but I wanted to test if you can hear Louise, because she will be our next presenter.
No.
No, they can't hear you.
I can't hear nothing. No, I can't hear anything.
Yes, just try.
No, still not.
No. You don't want to come up here. Yeah. And then your presentation, will you? Oh, okay. I don't see it, Louise. When did you drop it? A minute ago. No, it's not here yet. The last message is 11:11.
Maybe it was a different.
I'll just write test. Or I'll tag you in this one.
Extend it,
Do you see where I tag? Oh, okay, yes, it is here. Okay, I think everyone is back. This session, we have 3 presenters who will be sharing about the work that is being done in their institutions. Our first presenter will be Dr. Louise Patterson from the CSIR, followed by Dr. Katleho Poshogo from Teresa, and then finally Mrs. Ria Olifi. So those are our 3 presentations. We're going to give them 15 minutes to present and 5 minutes for questions. And we had allocated 4 slots, so there is still a slot available. So if anyone wants to do an impromptu presentation, we can accommodate a 4th presentation as well. And then over to you, Louise.
Thanks, Nobubele. So before we start, I just want to inform you that I don't feel so well, so please excuse the coughing and the sniffling. It's going to happen. I downloaded it. Check on the downloads. Yeah.
Sure. You share from the laptop.
Yeah, so we'll share from a screen, yes. You have to log in. I downloaded it, yeah. I did download it. Okay, sorry, just technical issues. What's it on the SharePoint? She shared it on the chat.
Just get from change quicker that way. Yeah, on the download screen.
Do that. Oops.
I use 3 dots, download. You download it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Just open it. Open the second one. Once someone is in, let me just check something.
Okay.
Let me just check something quickly. Isn't it? The other one.
Yes.
Right. Can I share the whole screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Minimize this. It should be up. Should be fine.
I see the screen online.
Yes.
Just confirm.
Will you confirm with this?
Yes.
Okay, you can see the screen, the presentation.
Yes, we can
Okay.
see.
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you. Okay, right. So as Nobubele stated, I'll be sharing with you some of the major progress we've made regarding mostly data management within the CSR. At the CSR, we are unfortunately a bit behind many of the other institutes such as UP or HSRC. Nevertheless, we are quite pleased and proud of the recent progress we have undergone, and I will be sharing with you the following: a quick background to the CSR. There might be some people who are not really familiar with this research institute or council. Then the work we've done with the data management procedure, work regarding data management plans, our fixture update. We are also doing data rescue or data conservation, the training we do, and also we are starting a new project or investigation into the use of electronic lab books and laboratory information management systems, as these systems often contain data as well. And then the topic of succession planning, and lastly, community involvement done by the CSR data section. So, sorry, a quick overview. The CSR this year will be 80 years old, and it was established in 1945. Through an act of parliament, and it is a world-class African research and development organization. If we look at the main achievements or say technologies or discoveries throughout the past 8 decades, it's been things such as the Meyring Nordia research vessel for oceanographic research, the development of a medium-speed wind tunnel, an election forecasting model, and a highlight in 2013, the discovery or the development of the world's first digital laser. So these are all the discoveries taken place over the last 8 decades. And recently, if I look at the most annual CSR report, we can still see that new things are being developed, looking at cancer drugs, pharmaceutical precursors, blockchain, the health of our dams, fire disaster involvement, biocompost, fish feed ingredients, all those kinds of research discoveries and research disciplines. So this leads us to the following. The CSR is a multidisciplinary, dynamic, and evolving research environment. If we have a research group now, there's no guarantee that this research group will still exist 10 years from now. So things are constantly undergoing changes. So throughout our 80 years of research discoveries, patent technologies, we have created a lot of research data, a lot of older research data, and much of our data is at risk of loss because we've never really had data management before around about 2014. And another thing, and I need to emphasize this, we are working with experienced researchers. We are not working with university students. If somebody can please mute, we can hear you talking. Thank you. As I've said, our experienced researchers, they are brilliant researchers, but you often struggle to get them into a new activity, such as data management. I have had, for instance, people telling me right to my face that they cannot really see the benefits of a data management plan. So this is really tricky. And I have been working with university students and I've been working with researchers, and I know it is much easier to get the message across to younger students. So this is sort of another limitation or a challenge we have in the CSR regarding data management. So this is our research library or knowledge management and information services model. The data management falls under one of our three leads, under the records management and archival services division. And I would say that the people mostly working with research data or getting it going in the CSR would be the data librarian. This is me. And going forward, it would also involve the archivist, the digitization person. We also work with ICT. We also work with the systems librarian. And of course, we will also involve the input from a person such as our privacy officer. Then the data management procedure. Now, this is another thing where the CSR differs from, I think, many universities. We don't have something such as a data management policy. Rather, we have a records management policy, and this also encapsulates data. So we see data as part of CSR records. And in this records management policy, it states that data and the management of data and the storage of data is also included. And it then mentions for the specific data management procedures, you actually need to go to the CSR data management procedure. So on top, we have the records management policy, and one of the procedures under this policy is the data management procedure. Now, this procedure, the most recent update was in July this year. It contains various sections. It is 18 pages in length. So one of the main sectors involves stipulating in bullet format the various responsibilities of, say, the divisional executives, what the science, engineering, and technology staff members need to do, what the cluster project configuration officer needs to do, and so forth. So this is the responsibility and authority section. Then we also address tools and systems, and there are various tools that are involved when it comes to the CSR data management. Processes are touched on, and we also have workflows. Right, so that is the data management procedure. Now, when it comes to the data management plan, in the procedure itself, it stipulates that you need to create a data management plan at the start of each research, development, and innovation project. I'm sure you're all quite familiar with the typical sections or subdivisions of a data management plan. We used to be quite prescriptive when it comes to the use of a data management plan template and referred all researchers to the DERISA online template. But because we deal with a lot of data that is classified, we also had to make provision for a manual data management plan template that researchers could use and not having to access a platform such as DERISA where data could be compromised. So because of this, we've in the meantime updated, and researchers are actually free to choose the template they want to use when drafting their data management plan. So they can use the DERISA online DMP template. There is a CSIR specific one. They can use the manual template. They can use a template supplied by their funders. And they can also, of course, use a template supplied by project collaborators, because we do have a lot of collaborative projects in the CSIR. So this is just a screenshot of the DERISA data management. What is the new word? I saw your new website.
The data commons.
Yeah, comments. So yeah, the SADMP tool is one of it. And then when they click enter, they can then choose the CSR DMP template. But I've also said that if we have a manual template, it's 4 pages in length. It's quite similar to the online template, but it's much more simplified. And this is what it typically, one of the 4 pages would look like. And we create awareness, for instance, not only by training, but also publishing intraweb articles regarding the requirement for a data management plan. Now, regarding the data repository, we finally managed to acquire Figshare as our data repository, and we now have 2 open access repositories. We have Research Space, which is our repository for publications, but not data. So it would be for articles, conference papers, chapters, books, open reports, that kind of thing. And now we have our Figshare, which will be termed Data Space, which is our open access data repository. So it's quite nice how these 2 align. We have Research Space and then we have Data Space. Now, in order to arrive at the name Data Space, we actually held a competition in July where the first prize was a 350 Rand voucher from this Newton's restaurant in the Knowledge Commons. The winning name, as I've mentioned, is Data Space. Various reasons for this. It's easy to remember. It cannot really be misspelled. It's clear and short. It states what it's about, and it aligns, of course, with Research Space. So yes, the competition was advertised on the intraweb. The winner also announced on the intraweb. And because we now have this name CSR Data Space, it was thought that the conventional CSR logo, which is on top, might need to be adapted when it comes to the landing page of Data Space as a Figshare platform. And we are now working with our communications department to create a logo that includes the word Data Space on the conventional CSR logo. We are still awaiting this before we can launch. That will probably be in October. Data at risk. I think I need to go faster. What am I doing for time?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right. Maybe I won't cover everything, but I think I've shared a lot with you anyhow. Data at risk and data rescue. This is another activity we are busy with at the CSIR. As you might know, historic data or older data is often at risk of being lost or damaged or not being accessed, there are various reasons why data can be at risk. So these risk factors are all stated here. Lack of awareness, changing priorities. Maybe if a research group closes down, what happens to the data? What happens to the boxes of paper survey forms that are quite valuable, but there's no longer a research group? The researchers have all been retrenched. So it's important that you come in, examine the data, make a decision. Can it be rescued? Should it be rescued? You then digitize this data, upload it to a repository if it can be shared. And that, in short, is the process of data rescue. Of course, part of my studies also looked at this topic of data at risk and data rescue, and the researchers I interviewed, the majority, of course, stated yes, they have data at risk within their research group. The data at risk comprised many formats, the most common format, paper data, as well as modern data, which was quite surprising. Various reasons, I think it's 24, were listed by researchers or factors putting data at risk. So these risk factors are more numerous than the slide I previously showed you, factors putting data at risk. So we all think that paper data is the format that is most likely to be at risk. because paper can be damaged by mold, by fire, by insects, and so forth. But there are quite a few things that count in the favor of older paper data. You can see that it is often recorded onto lasting material. You can see what needs to be copied or rescued. And things like optical scanning and OCR and digital photography are tools that many people are able to use. But when it comes to older digital data, we find that those positives do not exist. Older magnetic media does not last as long as paper-based media. These files cannot be read without special equipment and software. And then the software skills and equipment are slowly fading away. This means that your early digital media is often more at risk than your older paper media. We are not the only entity practicing data rescue. Data rescue is a very prominent activity worldwide. You can join on your laptop many citizen science projects and help organizations rescue their data through transcribing it, quality checking, that kind of thing. And even if you look at politics or governments, when Donald Trump was first inaugurated in 2016, everybody knew that he's not in favor of climate change and was going to suppress data regarding climate change. And before he could do away with that climate data, hackers came in, downloaded this data, and stored it on servers so that data which is could still be safe. And of course, then after Trump came Biden, and now Trump is in charge again. And once again, he is ordering valuable research data to be removed. And once again, entities are stepping in, and libraries here play a big part, rescuing this mostly environmental, climate, and also pollution data before it can be removed. And the Harvard Law Library is a major entity in contributing to saving or rescuing this data. I think I've run out of time. There are a few more things I'd like to say about data rescue, but if my time is up, it's up. Thanks. Any questions?
Yes, I think we are trying to keep to time. So we do have the 5 minutes for questions for Louise.
Thank you for your question. What is the plan for the data library? Because I think from the picture that I saw from your presentation, that is archival material, and I think that is the duty of the records managers, to analyze those records and determine which ones should be archival records and which ones should be maybe taken to the National Archives. So what's the plan exactly for the data that is addressed?
Can you also, do you have the online link? They're asking if you can check, if you can type the question, or maybe let me type this quickly. If you can rephrase. Okay.
What is the plan for the data?
Yeah. So if I can refer you to the slide, I skipped the slide, but this is in more detail the typical data rescue steps. And because it is CSR data, it is most likely that we will not just give the data to the National Library. It's CSR data. So if the data can be made open after it being digitized and metadata added and added to our own internal repository, we will then share it with a wider audience via our Figshare repository. It could be that the data we discover might be I can't really think of an instance where we will hand over the data to the National Archives or anything like that. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but I do not foresee this because in the end, it is data that was collected by CSR researchers doing CSR research, and it's a CSR record. We would not like to get rid of it. I'm not saying never, but that is the way it is. We will upload it to our repositories. Spitile?
data distribution, cost of Louise as the data library. Some of the artifacts that they will find, more especially the physical items, we realize that it could be archival. Say, so Louise works with our digitalization and archival team. So when they go out to these different buildings and storerooms, they go as a team that consists of the archivist, the digitization technician, as well as the data librarian, so that if there are records that are found there that are of archival, then that team for the archives and records management, they take over. Then Louise tends to find, I think Louise, one time you found samples of wood, for example. So Louise will then find things that speaks to data or even reports, but it's a team that works together so that we're able to say these are reports and the records management team kicks in, evaluates what is it critical, is it of value? Does the CSR need it? Do we need to keep it in the archives or do we need to dispose of it? So there is a whole workflow to determine all of that. Thanks.
And we also have archives. We have 2 archives. So if it needs to be kept in its older format, we do have that storage capacity. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Rosina. Rosina.
Okay, Rosina, sorry.
Lab books.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't get to that, but this is a new thing we are starting. We've realized that because we have a lot of people working in laboratories, they make use of lab books. It's either electronic or physical. And then we had a survey last year to try and determine what kind of lab books our researchers are using. And if they are using electronic lab books or laboratory information management systems, what are these systems? And if they are not even using these systems, can they maybe suggest ideal systems for the work in their research unit? And the survey results were quite disappointing. The response rate was rather low. Nevertheless, we discovered that most of the researchers are quite positive towards the idea of laboratory notebooks in electronic format. We've since identified one such format, SpaceSoft, that we will be trying to demo to our CSR wide. And going forward, we are also looking if there's available budget to actually make this an official project. But apart from that, we also realized that a lot of data is being kept in lab books, also paper format. And part of this realization is going forward is describing how the data anything related to data on these lab books should be managed. So we need to create guidelines for this. And if there are any people in universities who also work with the data management of lab books, I would really like to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will take the final comment from online. Lulego.
Thank you very much. I just want to find out if do you have any plan in place regarding to make the data that CIR have AI ready? Do you have any plans for the current data to make it AI ready, or you are not planning toward that direction?
We have not planned for this, but we are not opposed to this. We are very interested in how AI can enhance our processes within our library environment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Louise. And then our next presenter is Dr. Gatlego Poshogo. So just trying to share the presentation. Okay, I'll also just drop it on the chat. Everyone.
not showing here in the chat. Let me share it from my end. Then please confirm online people once you see it. Yeah. How did I
Yes,
show
we
it?
can see it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Time starts now.
Thank you, thank you. Maybe I should start and say Guten Morgen. I heard someone says they could speak German. Did I get it right? All right. Thanks, colleagues. I think I've already been introduced. I will share a bit about the services. Some of you might have seen the slides, and I'm hoping I can bring some new flavor to it. But then also just highlight some of the things that we can, expect as the time progresses. I don't want to make the assumption that we all know NEDICC. Some maybe we do, maybe we don't. But if we don't, it's also a good opportunity for me to share a bit about NEDICC and where DERISA sits within NEDICC. And also just to highlight a few of what has been happening. So the NEDICC, for those who might not be aware, is actually a broader group. It is comprised of 3 departments. That is I find my pointer. Okay. The Center for High Performance Computing that avails compute resources for researchers and research institutions. The South African National Research Network, which provides connectivity across these institutions and also some commodity internet services. And the DERISA then comes in for data services. Within NEDICC, we also have what we refer to as integrated service teams that are bringing expertise from across all these 3 functions, and they're operating as specialized units, and which we then refer to as networked resources. We, of course, support and interface with works from across various domains. These are not the only ones, but as it can be seen there, the disciplines span across earth-related, it might be natural and physical sciences, health, energy, and the like. And also we do, take quite active participation in the development of skills. Many might have been aware of some of the HCD-related initiatives, I think one of which has been driven by Dr. Shozi, our datathon as DERISA. We also have others that each of these 3 departments is running. But that's not only that, but even I think the e-research programs, which we refer to as NEDTTP, NEDTTP, what? NEDTTP. It always naps my tongue. But I think I won't dwell too much here. But this is just to highlight that despite just being viewed as though we are more about storing data alone, but we do want to continue being, an active partner in, research data management practices, providing tools that will empower communities in that regard. We also are actively engaged in advocacy for good practice when it comes to data management, research data management, and this community of practice is also one of the communities that are close to us, and we really appreciate the journey. I've alluded to the as part of our strategic objectives being to develop capabilities as well as contribute to thought leadership initiatives. I think many of you might have heard or have come across the National Big Data Strategy. It's one of the tasks which we were given to lead, and we've been doing this, I think, on behalf of the government. And let me also indicate for those who are not aware that as DERISA, we are funded and supported by the DSTI. And we, as I've also spoken to, infrastructure, we are continuing to look into how we can expand our infrastructure, and I'll talk briefly about it. But maybe for those who are not aware, maybe the question might be, how do we access some of these data management tools or data services? And it's easily can be accessed through the provided link. The service can be accessed at service.derisa.ac.za, wherein people can sign up. There are various ways into which one can sign up. You can create your credentials, or you can log in through OCIT, or you can log in with your institutional credentials if it's affiliated with Sapphire. Sapphire is the South African federated identity provider. And I think that would mean if you are at a particular university, your university credentials would be what is used to subscribe. And I think let me just highlight that when using OCIT, our current configuration requires that you make your primary email to be public. And if it be that when you were registering your OCIT profile, you may have used a Gmail or a different account, it would be helpful to include your institutional email before you authenticate, so that it can make it a seamless process for our internal approvals. We actually want to emphasize the aspect of institutional emails, because generally our service are at no cost to public entities, and that we need to be able to demonstrate to our funders and our partners to say we are actually catering this to the right audience and stakeholders. I've highlighted, this is just a high level view of some of the services that would be accessed through the platform. Dr. Patterton spoke about the data management planning tool, and we also have a tool that we refer to as the data object identifier. This helps research communities to issue handles like the digital object identifier to make the data outputs publicly accessible and discoverable. And the data deposit tool would be what one could be using to upload and as well as share with specific members of that particular group. It is not open by default. You choose who you want to share your data with, and you control that. We are currently advancing more services, some of which include a data sharing tool, which the idea behind it is also to try and support open science, open data approach, wherein members of the community and those who are making use of the platform can choose which parts of their data sets they would want to make publicly accessible. And also, this is in order to enable the alignment with some of the funder requirements that requires that as one produces a publication for provenance and also for ability for data reuse, people who are interested in your work can be able to access your data sets. So the tool is aimed at enabling that. And also, we often come across the need for access to data, and it's a common one across researchers. And with the data discovery tool, that is one of the ideas we're trying to address. This is more of a tool that would be a hub to even other repositories, trusted repositories. And as I've indicated, just on the banner, the footer there, I alluded that you can either use Sapphire to authenticate, OCIT, or even your manual credentials. So I've spoken already around some of those services, but from here, let me highlight that we do also have the long-term preservation infrastructure, wherein we can store and preserve data for a longer period. We are working on making it just on the Datacoms platform, wherein a person can do an on-demand transfer and make it a bit seamless. And all these services or these tools can be just accessed through a one-point entry. You don't necessarily have to authenticate to each and every one of them with different set of credentials. That is the reason why I wrote a single sign-on. And we understand that some data sets or data objects might actually be large, and the data deposit tool that is seen on that dashboard is more geared toward data objects that are not more than 10 gigabytes. So once your data sets are beyond that, so we advocate for making use of one of the tools that we have subscribed to and made available in our infrastructure for people to use, which we refer to as Globus. With Globus, you're able to transfer data from your endpoint. An endpoint might be either from your device, or it might be from your institution, or from a system of your institution, or it might even be from our compute facility at the CHPC. We do have researchers who are running some research operations on the supercomputer at the CHPC. And because that system is not necessarily designed for storing data post 90 days, so we provide capability to move data from the system to the data infrastructure. And when there's a need to do some processing and gymnastics on the data, you can still push it back to the HPC system. There is, of course, a need for those who would like to be able to do that, to map their profile, their DRISA profile with the Globus profile, and we can also facilitate that with the HPC system. But then also the other layer that this tool also brings is being able to manage a group access and some sort of a PI setup with a research environment. So this tool I'm highlighting it here because it's more geared towards transfer of large data sets, and it also allows one to just schedule it without having to need to monitor it actively. So maybe one might be wondering, from a technical perspective, how do these things fit together? Let me indicate that the platform is running, or it's on our cloud platform, which we refer to as Sebua. And also we do use the iRoads data management system, which is enabling us to catalog the data objects. We have, as I've indicated, two areas of storage, which we tend to refer to as the hot and the cold storage area. The hot is more geared toward data objects that needs to be readily accessed, and also for storage for a shorter period of time, maybe generally three years or so, aligned with most common research programs at research institutions. But then we are able to align if there's a need to reconfigure that depending on the research project that comes. And we also have an archiving platform, which we call the 20 petabyte cold storage, which is tape-based. And there okay, thank you for that. I'm told that I should be generous with my time. Yeah, so I also want to indicate that all these are interconnected through the network that is also provided through the Sunrun links. So there's more that one can leverage from the environment, and we're all interconnected. So behind this, some of the pillars that are supporting and making this a success, and it is that ecosystem configuration that interfaces with high-speed connectivity and HPC system, the cloud capability, and also, of course, expertise behind the team, and of course, tools and APIs which we are bringing to the space, and activities within the communities, and our commitment to building capacity, as well as our zeal to help amplify the voice that data has, and also to unlock the full potential of research, innovation, and impact. This is just to flash a few of the trends that we are seeing. The top subscribers as of last month, by subscription, you can see that universities have got a large share of the active use of the system, but then even the CSR is also using that, and of course other science councils are also active. We also provide support to the SADC member universities, and those are just some of the top 10 active users of the platforms. And what can one expect? We're enhancing our platforms. We'll be rolling out some new tools and services, expanding, and we're looking into bringing some data analytics capabilities in our roadmap, and also expanding our infrastructure capacity, and also to federate into other trusted repositories and data sources, and much more. And if there are any concerns, comments, suggestions, we welcome those and would be happy to engage. Thank you so much.
I didn't want it to look like I'm being unfair. I'm giving you more time. But thank you, Dr. K. We will then take questions from the audience, questions or comments. Yes, Fatima?
Thank you. Wondering how do you envisage that institutional repositories would work with, specifically universities, would work with the research platforms that you offer?
I'll try to, it's a complex question, but that sounds simple. But I would say we approach this from a tiered approach, wherein you'd have tier 0, which would be at a global platform, tier 1, which would be at a national platform where DERISA would be, and then tier 3 might be institutions and so forth. And as we do so, it would be depending on what would need to be availed. Of course, we would have to interface with technical teams from institutions, and it would be a question of what the institution would want to make available through that. But we would approach it from a federated approach, wherein whatever that is selected by the institution, and the aim is to make discoverable or reachable, then we would interface with the technical teams, and then just apps through the likes of APIs, make interfaces and make those data objects available. And of course, others would depend on what might be the pain points or the use case that the institution wants to address. And I want to believe that it's going to be a long journey. I mean, in certain instances, institutions come with questions such as, we want to have access to data in which our researchers can ingest or can be able to process and not have to struggle with finding research data. And so if it's possible for our research communities to have access to that, then that is the communication and open channel we would be welcoming to do. And also we've had comments such as some maybe synthetic data as an example, where students to learn and play around, and there are of course many possibilities. So which is why I'm saying it's a simple but not easy question to answer, in the sense that it do depend on what might be the technical or what might be the pain points that institutions would like us to address.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? Maybe also from the online. Okay, let me check online.
I have a question, if there are no questions.
Okay, yes, we still have time.
How many of you know NEDICC, and how many of you have actually subscribed to play around with the research services? Yes, I think one thing I should indicate is these services are at no cost to the researchers. So do encourage your communities to engage, and if there are gaps at which you see, we are open to help work together in bridging those. Thank you.
Yes, I think I'll also just add, I think with the repositories as well, yes, DERISA is offering these services for free. We have a data repo, etc. But it does not, stop institutions from having their own. I think as the national body, it is our mandate to provide these services, especially to maybe institutions that might not be able to afford subscriptions to these other repositories that you have to pay for. But the end goal is, for our repo to interface and interact with, repo from UKZA and UP, just to allow and facilitate for that information to be shared between the three levels. So I think we still have 2 minutes from Dr. K's time, so I'm not sure if there's any final questions or comments before we move on to the next presenter. Okay, I think then we will hand over to Maria who is online and will be taking us through the NEDICC legacy of South Africa. So Ria, you do have 15 minutes for your presentation and then 5 minutes for questions.
Just checking if everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you here. I'm not sure about the other online.
Yes, we can.
Thank
Okay.
you. And you can see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Oh, perfect. Then I can carry on. Just first want to say, first up, Nobubelo and the rest of the NEDICC Steering Committee giving me the opportunity. As I want to say, this is not just to tell you what I'm doing, but if there's anybody that wants to make suggestions or anything like that, I forgot to put a QR code here, but I will add it into the chat later on, but it's very easy. You've got my email at this stage. I always like to improve what I'm doing. So I'm first going to tell up, and I think I want to come back to something that Johanna said, and it's about data visualization. So just keep that in mind, and then I will carry on, because Antarctic legacy is not just about preservation, it's also about make it visualized and open to other people. Why can't I move on? Sorry, my screen don't want to move on. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, there we go. So what's very important is that ELSA started about in 2007, and it's all linking these two together, ELSA with the SANAP. So you can see it's all about human. If you can see, it's kind of, there's a profile of a human, and all that is entailed with human. And as I always say to people when doing presentations or talk to people, is that the research is what SANAP is about, but if there wasn't humans, there wouldn't have been any research. So carry on from that is that I'm not going to read it. You can download the PDF file in the chat. It's to preserve South African National Antarctic Program community and promote its activities. Preserving and promoting mean honoring the past while embracing the future for all of SANAP. So that's very important in that regard. So the aim quickly is, I've just mentioned it to you, it's to promote knowledge of and collaborative research, interdisciplinary research and training environment. And looking forward, that's what the NRF states in its national imperatives and specifically within SANAP. So it's maintain a platform that's accessible, doing it in the SANAP platform, an open access platform, communicate to institutions, promoting is attract social and humanities researchers, also visibility on national and international levels, and outreach. So as I say, just not just preservation, but as well going forward. So I will quickly look at what we are doing for preservation. So it's mainly based in the foundation is the digital repository. I'm not sure if I won't go through all of this. You can download it. Just something that's very interesting. Since I've started scanning, I've made a note of all the timelines. There's never been created a timeline of what happened when. So a lot of people don't even know it. That's in 1899. It's the first log that we get of people coming from Africa down below. The first ship passed Simonstown 1751. If you're kind of watching some of Antarctic stuff, you will see that Terra Nova is one that departed from Simonstown. So from all the things that scanned, the documents and the photos, was able to design a timeline. There's book collection, there's 360 footage, a digital museum. So, but I won't go through all of this, it would take too much time. This is how the repository is looking currently, but I'd like to announce now that we're going to Figshare as well. So thank you for the NRF being part of that, and at the Figshare, I've made a lot of notes that you spoke about in that meeting. So it's all to convince and to confirm that we can go ahead. As you can see, it consists mainly of 3 collections at this stage: photo gallery, multimedia, and documents. And it's a lot of old material. So it first started just with the photo gallery of people. And then the only documents that was available was the newsletter and some diaries, but it moved on from that. So currently we've got a bibliography list that we also got from CSIR at that stage, that we are updating everything where we are now. So it's totally a living repository, and as soon as something happens, we realize, okay, there's more coming along, getting a better collection and all of that. You are very welcome to go to the archive. Currently, it's also slow working on the website as well as the archive. As I say, we are moving to fixture at the beginning of January in the process of that. This is the material that's preserved there. Bibliographies, presentations, that's something that went on. Even the 2003, the first Stand-Up Symposium is listed here. Old videos, new videos, interviews. I will come back to you a little bit about that later because they're not open access necessarily. And an Arctic booklet, I will mention more of these later on. So I was invited to an inaugural conference of polar museums. And I told him, but we haven't got a polar museum, we haven't got an Antarctic museum in South Africa. No, but just come and say that. So how long will my presentation take? Like 3 seconds. Then what I did, I designed a digital museum, and that's where the digitization of all this material is so important. So I took all the material from the archive. Everything that's on this digital museum is from there, and I could show it there. And actually, it was great for me. It took a long time to get it done and where it is. So I think you can download it at resources, also on the archive. What's very important, we started doing 360 footage of Sanai. When I mentioned I was to Antarctica, that's why we went down there. Please go and visit it if you like. It will give you an idea how the people living there for 13 months doing their part for South Africa is living. Also what happened then is there was like 2 books or 3 books. The bottom 3 here on the right has been published by the Antarctic Legacy. And then we started publishing diaries. So the first one was the Sub-Antarctic Wilderness, the White Horizon. Then we even got a fictional book, Katjachter. And we've got this book of NEDICC. It's not incorrectly spelled. It's designed with calligraphy and it's ink pictures. And this is a huge story. And when I think, Louise, you mentioned it, the importance of data. The book is regarding Martin Bester. Some of you will probably know him. And it's now about 50 years that data is available. But this book was designed for me. It was supposed to be a 120-page book, and we entered for the 480. The newest book will be launched on Heritage Day. And it is of the first Muslim group leader of the Department of Public Works. So all this is preservation, but like Mustaqim Gerdien book that's now published, all his photos are on the archive, thanks to Dana that's sitting in this committee meeting as well, or in this meeting. What also happened is that I met up at the RISA meeting, and that's why NEDICC is so good, because that's how I came across the SADILAR. That's very important. So we've translated the important facts, or just a few facts of Antarctica, in most of the 11 languages that is spoken in South Africa. And I must say it's something huge, because no other country in the Antarctic environment has this issue. Chile and like Argentina, it's probably Spanish, but that's where it goes. So it's really something. We've got a huge book collection. You'll probably know Ellen Tice, and some of you must know Marie. So we've started creating an Antarctic book collection. A lot of the people that went down south got these collections, and some of them die, and the family don't know what to do with it. So this is also preservation to a certain extent that we are doing. And although these books are not digitized, there will be a reference list of it on the archive soon. To me, information is directly linked to displays and so forth. So we are working directly with the photos that you can see here in the bottom left-hand corner, and the material there all comes from the Antarctic Legacy of South Africa, being collected and digitized. So promoting, I'm not going through this. It's open days, it's training of teams, it's the community support, it's doing presentations all over the world. What we've done, it was at Stellenbosch University at that stage when it was the US celebrated its 100 years. I've been able, this was taken at CoData in Botswana, gave a lot of universities a set of books that's been published by the Antarctic Legacy. And due to the fact that when the UCT collection burned down, supplied them also with a lot of titles that we have. So this is the ALSA website, quickly want to show you, and from there you will go to the archive. This is where everything happens. So when there's a collection like the Wanderer has been added to the archive, but tell people about it. So promoting is important, but preservation is important. But if you don't do something with it, why are you doing it? So I've been asked to do the SANAP website, so that is where the whole South African National Antarctic Program is. And what's very good at that, you can go to the ALSA webpage from here and to the archive as well. That's very important to me and creating that space. So in the conference at Argentina in 2019, the beginning of this year, again twice this year at SANAP symposiums, I've been given data management workshops. I use material from DERISA and a lot of from DCC and created and customized it to the Antarctic environment. Since March, I think I've got just enough minutes, so this is my huge new on my bucket list, is trying to create a polar archival network. What it would entail, it would not be that this will be a digital repository, but say for instance we've got in Nevada a huge collection of paintings of Antarctica, and people will be able to go through this platform to either a digital repository or to the physical things that are available, like the main thing, the Scott Polar Institute. This is the vision and collaborate what we've decided on during the workshop. There's much more that can go through that. But just to give you an idea, these are all the countries that are involved to a certain extent in the Antarctic environment. So there at the top you will see the SCAR, that stands for Scientific Committee on Antarctic Research. SCADM, that's the Scientific Committee on Antarctic Data Management, where I am currently presenting. I've previously was presenting South Africa. I'm still in that regard, but I'm also presenting the humanities and social sciences, where I am the representative for SCAR. And what is very good of this is that this Polar Archival Network is a joint collaboration between those two standing committees within SCAR. And I think there is much more that can be said. And I would like to take you onto the archive, but I would think it would be very good if you can, oops, I just want to stop sharing. So I think if you can go to the archive, have a look and see what you can see is sort of gaps that's there. We've got lots of gaps. So it started, as I said, in 2007, just with small stuff, or not small stuff. It's like we've got now about 20,000 entries on there. Currently at my home is sitting about 40,000 slides that still's got to be scanned. Luckily, there's a place like FC Tech that will now do it for us with the help of AI. So we will still have to check the metadata in the end. I didn't mention something specifically, and I'm sorry, I did not have a slide of it. But when Ina spoke about open access, so via NRF policy, if you get funding from the NRF, it was in February of 2013, you also supposed to make your data open. But there's two factors that specifically on research and within SCAR that's been done, that's policy and can't be changed. And the one on the SCAR policy on data management is that no information of a personal nature can be made open accessible. And there's specific reasons for it. It's a lot of psychological data that we are talking about. So what we've done, the repository was closed till about 2013. Then it's made open. Then I've got to go back to all the people that contributed to the archive and ask them, which photos should I take off? Is there material that you want to take off? And the other thing is that, as well as that, going through the archive and make it private. So that's that one policy. Also, what people supply to me is researchers. They supply their scientific photos to me, and that can't be made available unless their research is done. So that's about the short and sweet of what I am doing. I think just the message to get across is there is always these niche things that we've got to preserve, but it doesn't help we put it there in a black hole and we don't tell people about it. I think I'm at my end of my time, Nubulele. If there's any questions from the floor or from online, I will try and answer it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ria. We do have a question on the floor from Louise.
Can I ask that the people on the floor can speak at the podium the question, then we can better hear, if possible?
Yes, or should I just type it, Louise? Oh, okay. Louise is just asking that you upload the presentation you were using because the one in the chat is different.
Okay, I will share it. I just shared the PDF presentation. Didn't it go through? I've shared it a little bit earlier. Elsa NEDICC, it's in a PDF version. Can you download it?
I think she's saying that one is different.
Okay, so I think that I will share it. Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? Online. Oh, yes, Fatima. I will just type the question or repeat it if you can't hear. I don't think I can. Yeah, you can put it off and then I'll just.
My question is, the researchers.
What's the second part? Okay, so Fatima's asking for the researchers who need to go back to get permission to make data available. Have you had a case where you didn't find the researcher?
At this stage, not, but we had a case of a guy that unfortunately died, and before all his material was digitized and tried